Welcome everyone, Crazy here. I'm feeling a little sick, so this video will be pretty quick here. But if you haven't heard already, MultiVersus is going to be adding Jason Voorhees into the game when it fully releases on May 28th. This was revealed at the end of the launch trailer for the game, so I'm going to show you the end of the trailer so you can see what he actually looks like.
I usually work alone, but for you, I'll make an exception.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy to finally see Jason being added into another game after all this time. And we actually get to see a better picture of it right here. I'll show it on screen. I originally thought this was based off of the Part 7 look, but it seems that because his mask isn't damaged, it's actually the pre-Uber Jason look. I'm able to tell this because of the chain and the fact that his mask isn't damaged, like I just mentioned. This makes me wonder if they are going to do Uber Jason as an ability or a skin for him, which would be pretty cool to see. Now, what does this have to do with Dead by Daylight? Because I am a Dead by Daylight channel after all. Well, it makes me wonder if this March solo killer license chapter is indeed going to be Jason, or if we're going to see him sometime in the future beyond this. We know Dead by Daylight is obviously more than willing to add Jason into the game, and they really want him in the game, so any opportunity like this, where he is being licensed out to other games, would be a perfect time to add him into the game. Question is though, would they do this chapter without Tommy Jarvis, a new survivor, and without the Camp Crystal Lake map, because the March chapter is just a killer? The answer to that question we can't really know yet because it's a little confusing, so let me break this down. We know from Brian Fuller, who was previously working on the Crystal Lake series, that the rights to the movie distribution of Friday the 13th are tied to New Line Cinema. We don't know if this necessarily means you need to work with New Line Cinema in order to get the full Friday chapter, but I'm going to go into that really quickly. I bring this up because MultiVersus is a Warner Brothers game and New Line Cinema is a Warner Media company. So in theory, if you did need New Line Cinema involved in the rights, Warner Brothers already has that part of the rights covered because they are Warner Brothers themselves. This doesn't necessarily hurt the chances of a full chapter because Dead by Daylight did work with New Line Cinema on the Nightmare on Elm Street chapter, although that chapter wasn't the best chapter in the game because we got the remake Freddy and no skins for that character. Because of that, it might indicate that they don't have a great relationship, so if they did have to go through New Line Cinema to get a full Friday chapter, this might not necessarily be great news for us. However, it's a little confusing on if we will need the New Line Cinema part of the license in order to use all this, because we have heard many times that apparently the Friday the 13th show has access to any and all existing elements of the Friday the 13th franchise. That's worth mentioning because those two are also involved with Jason Universe, which is this brand new plan to bring out more content for Friday the 13th. They're both working together on this initiative. If you didn't know, Jason Universe is actually the reason why we're getting Jason in MultiVersus right now. It's basically this new initiative to bring out more content for the Jason franchise. So going back to the Year 9 roadmap, it's really a coin toss on if this March solo licensed killer will in fact be Jason Voorhees. Because honestly, I think if they were to get the opportunity, they would want to do a Survivor and a Camp Crystal Lake map involved with this chapter. But if they weren't able to get the rights to that because of the New Line Cinema involvement, if that does in fact have an effect on this, would definitely be the defining factor of this. And at the moment, it's hard to tell because the only existing collaboration we have is MultiVersus, which again is owned by Warner Brothers / New Line Cinema, which would in fact have the access to that other part of the rights, if that is in fact a part of the rights that they would need. Yeah, if you can't tell, this is very confusing, and it's really going to be a coin toss on when Jason will be added. I do think he will eventually be added no matter what though, whether it's going to be a full chapter or not. I personally would rather wait and get a full chapter, but I am still excited either way. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, a like and a subscribe would be super helpful. And as always, have a wonderful day and stay safe in the fog, everybody.